under analytics now. We're under dashboard. Unlock the power of analytics. So this is going to look at student progress, okay, overall. Now, this is pertinent to each individual student, okay, and will allow you a breakdown per each individual student. When they say skill progress, okay, they're talking about what I referred to as overall skill areas. This is not for individual skills under skill areas, but the overall skill area and how the students have done in that area with regard to the skills they have tested for that area. Okay. So that is why right now it's blank. Again, I'm still under analytics. We're going to go to diagnostic. Okay. I look, I have math. How is my student doing? Overview. Overall math levels, okay? If I want to find out how they're doing in the skill area of numbers and operations alone, I just click on that. Okay? And again, it shows us the pie chart we saw earlier under diagnostic that told us the student was at a 9-10 level under numbers and operations. Okay? Again, this breaks it down by skill area as to how the student is doing in that area related to the overall subject. If I want to change subjects, just click on language arts, and this is what it shows you. And again, it's broken down. You can see how they're doing overall, or you can see how they're doing per skill area. Okay? But again, don't get alarmed if you go to diagnostic and you go to, if you go to analytics and you go to dashboard and you see, oh no, they haven't done anything. No, they're working on the skills, but until they finish that skill area, all the skills in it, you won't see any progress. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, back to diagnostic overview. That's where we just were, and I was explaining it's the same breakdown as what we saw earlier. Now, I'm under analytics, diagnostic, strand analysis. Well, what does this mean? It's just another way of looking at the data. Okay. Under numbers and operations, it would be good for my student to work on converting between standard and scientific notation. Let me click on that. What's an example? Here's an example question of what that is. View skill. Okay. And this would be what the student sees. Okay, and they have resources that they can use. And look what this did. It brought me back to learning, back to math. So let me just go back to where we were. Again, we were under analytics, we went to diagnostic, and then we went to diagnostic strand analysis. Okay. Again, a lot of the data you see will be represented in different ways, but they will be essentially saying the same thing. Okay. Now, let's go to student action plan. We're under analytics, we go to student action plan, and here we are back at where we were when we clicked on analytics. Back where we were when we clicked on diagnostic. Brought us back to the same page. All right, again, just keep that in mind. If you feel like, oh no, I did something, no, a lot of this brings you back, or it brings you to the same page. So again, that was analytics, diagnostic, student action plan. Brought me back to the same page as if I just click diagnostic. Okay, moving on. Analytics, and we're going to go to trouble spots. Trouble spots. Here we are. Okay. You can do all your students, or each individual student. Again, I only have one student right now, that's why it's only showing me one student. So no trouble spots have been found, obviously. Student trouble spots, under analytics still. Here I can look at, again, the group, individual, or the individual. And essentially, it's the same thing that was shown from the two subheadings. Trouble spots, I click all students, okay. Student trouble spots. No problems, okay. So that's again when you have more students and they start doing work, okay. So analytics, now I'm going to go to students. And I click on students, I'm under analytics, and here's what pops up. So I know this is what my student has done. Context clues, well, we know that's ELA. Okay, what grade level? 6th here. What did the student do? They answered 38 questions. How long did it take them? 18 minutes. Did they make progress? Yes, in one skill, under a skill area being context clues, they have reached one skill. Okay? So, what is that one skill that they made progress in? If we look here, it is a 6th grade skill, and it's the 5th skill in whatever subheading the skill area is in. And the skill area is in subheading V. So let's find out what that means. Click on the skill. Okay, again, representation of the same thing pretty much. Okay, this provides me with what the student took as a test, what they got right. If they had gotten any wrong, it would show me what they got wrong. Okay, this is the exact assessment the student took. All right, so I go back to the top. Again, I'm going to answer this question now because it's in a different spot. It gets a little tricky sometimes. We've been taken to questions now. Okay, so we were in analytics, we were in students quick view. We clicked on this, and it brought us to the questions log page. So here's what I wanted to show you related to the grade level subheading of the skill area, the skill area is in, and the skill in that skill area. So if we take a look at, I believe if we go under skill analysis, let me make sure, okay, 6V5. It's not skill analysis, bear with me. Let's score grid. Okay, so again, let me go back, show you, we were in analytics. We went to students quick view. Okay, we scrolled down, we saw this 6V5, determine the meaning of domain specific. This is a skill, okay, in a skill area. So how do we know what skill and skill area that is? We go to scores, we go to score grid. The score grid shows us all of the skill areas and the skills within those areas that the students can work on to complete those skill areas. So if I look here, in language arts, I'm in grade 6, all students. I'll scroll down. So I know I'm in 6th grade because it showed a 6. The skill I clicked on showed 6V. So now I'm looking for V. Here's V, context clues. And what was the number after the V? 5. Here it is. This is what the student did. There's their score. let me click on this to see what they did. Okay, this is what they did. Okay, and that is the skill they performed, determine the meaning of domain-specific words. Okay, so again, we started in Students Quick View. Once we scrolled down and we saw what the student worked on, what grade level, what subheading it is under for the skill area, and what skill it is by number, we then would go to Score Grid. Make sure we have the right grade. We do 6, scroll down to the letter V in this case. Context clues, that's the skill area. What did you work on? This skill. Determine the meaning of domain-specific words with pictures. Skill 5. Okay. Student details. Again, interpretation of data. That typically shows the same thing. This gives you sessions and skills, what the student worked on, when they worked on it, how long it took them, and an action plan for what students can do to improve upon where they're at currently. Okay, this is again just another breakdown and interpretation of data and telling you the skills that the students can work on to improve their overall performance in their academics. So that covers analytics students. Now let's go to analytics skills. I click on analytics, I click on skills. Skills practice. We see the same thing we just went over. Okay? And we see